everyone, it's Morgyn from For Love of Paper, and I'm here with a layout process video for you. I actually filmed this a few months ago, and it's just been sitting in my collection of videos to edit and upload, and I just hadn't got around to it until now. So it's a photo of Sam on his first day of school this year, and I think I've scrapped a few of these photos, but this was by far my favorite. His facial expression was just awesome. And I am using the Totally Rad collection from Coco Vanilla Studios. I'll leave a link to their store below. I absolutely love their collections, and they do a couple of boy ones, which are just fabulous for me. I'm always looking for boy stuff. And I wanted to use that particular black and white piece from the cut apart sheet, so I just trimmed it all up. I cut it all up, I should say, and so every piece was excuse me, cut down, and then I could just use the one that I wanted. And just trimming down my 12 by 12 piece of paper. I'm going to use this as my background piece. I just cut the branding strip off, and then I wanted to keep it because it had more of the pattern on it. I put that in my scrap paper box. And then I wanted to use this, a stencil that I got from a d-lish scraps kit. I can't remember what month this was from. It was a while ago, possibly back at the beginning of the year, or maybe even the end of last year. Excuse me, sorry. I've got a real tickle in my throat. And now I'm going through picking out a couple of bits of scrap cardstock that I wanted to mount my photo on. I just think it needed something to give it a bit of definition, a bit of a border around the edge. So using some plain black cardstock, and then using the yellow pattern paper from the Totally Rad collection. I can't remember the paper names, but the yellow one has little chevrons all over it. It's really, really cute, and it matches his shirt perfectly. He's got this, it's like a golden yellow coloured t-shirt for his uniform, and this paper is almost exactly the same colour. So I end up putting it on a bit of an angle on that sheet, just to be a bit different, so it wasn't just a plain old square. And the cut apart 3x4 card that I'm using, I think it says something about, what does it say, you weren't born to fit and you're born to stand out. So I thought, with his funny face, he's poking his tongue out in the photo, I thought that fitted perfectly. And then putting the background cardstock on a bit of an angle as well, just sort of all worked together nicely. And then using another scrap of paper from my stash, it's black with some dark grey cameras on it. You can hardly see the cameras on there, but because they blend in quite a lot, but it's really neat, and I like that. And it was just something I had in my stash. And then using one of the frames from the die cuts pack, I think that might have had a pattern on it, but I can't remember exactly, because I can't remember everything, especially when I did them layout months ago. What am I doing? Oh, I'm going to glue it. I'm going to tape it down to the frame, and then just trim off the excess around the edge. There we go. And then I realized that I had the little gap at the top, and that was kind of like in between, and it was kind of annoying me a little bit. I think I stick something else in there to fix up that little gap. I can't remember what else I stuck in there. Yeah, so just taping everything down to the page. Normally I do my whole embellishment cluster and all my paper layers first before I stick anything down, but this particular occasion I was gluing as I go, which is very unusual for me. then just putting another little die cut saying in there. I can't remember what that one was. And I think I have a still picture for this one. I'm pretty sure I do. So you'll be able to see that at the end, what that actually says. Oh, there we go. Oh, no, I don't end up putting that in. I really wanted to use that globe. I thought it was quite appropriate for a school layout to have the globe in there, but I don't end up using it. I think it was just a bit too big, a bit too busy in that that space. I don't think I end up using that there either. I change it around a fair bit. Oh, the globe comes back, and then the little button. No, I'm pretty sure I end up putting some stars in there. Oh, I do fluff around with these things, don't I? Now going through the wood veneer, so I did buy, I think I bought almost the entire collection of Totally Rad. I got the papers, the wood veneer, the die cuts, I got the buttons, I got the enamel dots, and I think there was like a little bits and pieces bag that had all sorts of different like charms and tiles and things like that in there. And I'm pretty sure that was all, if not all, most of the collection itself. So yeah, I did one star brad and then an enamel star and an enamel dot in that little corner. And I'm moving it around again because, you know, it's got to be just so. And now I think I start working on the, oh, there we go. I had the sticker sheet as well. Look at that. Something else I forgot. And this was it looks like a piece of like notebook paper that's been torn out of a notebook. And because it's a school layout, I thought that was pretty good and suited nicely for that. And then these little robots, there's a blue one and I think there's a yellowy orange one that I end up using. Yeah, that one. That one stays. I really like that one. It's so super cute. And Sam quite likes drawing robots, and he always goes on about how he wants to build a robot one day. Oh, he actually wants to build an Iron Man suit. I don't know if he will ever do that, but that's his goal, life goals at the moment, to build an Iron Man suit or a robot. He quite often goes on about making a robot, and where do you buy robot stuff from, Mum? And, you know, I don't really have answers for that. Yeah, I don't really know where you buy robot stuff from, but hopefully when he's older, we've told him he has to be an engineer and he can build a robot. So we'll see what happens when he's older, whether his life dreams of owning a robot come true or not. And who knows, you know, in 20 years we might have robots. We could turn into the Jetsons and have robot maids. Oh, that would be nice. Someone to cook and clean for me. Now I'm just mixing up some black gelato with some texture paste. I just wanted to make a grey-ish colour. Then I'm using my stencil, and I did mark out before I put the photo and everything back down on the paper, and I just with a pencil marked out the corners where it would be, so I knew where to do my stenciling. And I kind of messed that one up a little bit. It kind of got a bit smudged, but it all adds to the effect, and I quite like how it came out in the end. So I just do a tiny bit down in the bottom left corner, and then I do quite a bit up the top. Yeah, so I was measuring it up and seeing how much more I should add and where I should add it to. So very carefully, trying not to smush all the stuff that I'd already put down. Add a little bit more there, and I think I add a bit more up the top again. Yeah, do I? Yes, I do. I don't know, I just felt like it needed something else. Like it was too flat at the top. There you go. So kind of a little bit, make it less flat and remove the little extra bit that's stuck down. There we go. I think that looked really nice. Wasn't too much. So I think I put that aside to dry. Yeah, that's right. I came back to it. I moved. I don't know if I went to another project or I just left it to to dry. Now I'm going to glue my little robot man down. He's so cute. And I had that little flare button brad thing. I'm not sure what it's called exactly. Oh, what did I do? Oh, I pulled out the brad. That's right. The brad was making it too bulky underneath. I didn't like it. So I added a couple more enamel dots in there. And this layout, I think this layout took me 40 minutes to complete or thereabouts. And yeah, so I've sped it up. I think this is times 2.5. I've sped this one up. And just putting it up on some enamel dots to give it a bit more volume, because we all like volume in our layouts. I mean, it's a pretty flat layout, to be honest, but just needed a bit more oomph, especially with the texture behind it. It needed something. And what else do I add to it? Oh, these little wood veneer plus signs. Okay, I think they were from the d-lish scraps kit as well. So the pattern paper had the little plus signs on it, and then I remembered about the stencil, and then I remembered about the little plus signs. So all kind of school related in a way, I think.